for an individual to posit his own ideal and to derive from it his own law, joys, and rights. That may well have been considered hitherto as the most outrageous human aberration, and as idolatry itself. The few who dared as much always felt the need to apologize to themselves, usually by saying, "It wasn't I, not I. No, a God through me who did it." This wonderful art and gift of creating gods, polytheism, was the medium through which this impulse could discharge, purify, perfect, and ennoble itself. For originally, it was a very undistinguished impulse, related to stubbornness, disobedience, and envy. Hostility against this impulse to have an ideal of one's own was formerly the central law of all morality. To fight against that impulse was what morality was about. Yes, there was only one norm, man, and every people thought that it possessed this one ultimate norm. But above and outside, in some distant overworld, one was permitted to behold a plurality of norms. One God was not considered a denial of another God, nor blasphemy against that God. It was here that the luxury of being an individual was first permitted. It was here that one first honored the rights of individuals. The invention of gods, heroes, and overmen of all kinds, as well as near men and undermen, dwarfs, fairies, centaurs, satyrs, demons, and devils, was the inestimable preliminary exercise for the justification of the egoism and sovereignty of the individual. The freedom that one conceded to a god in his relation to other gods, one eventually also granted to oneself in relation to laws, customs, and neighbors. Monotheism, on the other hand, this rigid consequence of the doctrine of one normal human type, the faith in one normal God besides whom there are only pseudo-gods, was perhaps the greatest danger that has yet confronted humanity. It threatened us with the premature stagnation that, as far as we can see, most other species have long reached. For all of them believe in one normal type and ideal for their species, and they have translated the morality of Moors definitively into their own flesh and blood. In polytheism, the free-spiriting and many-spiriting of man attained its first preliminary form. The strength to create for ourselves our own new eyes, and ever again new eyes that are even more our own. Hence, man alone, among all the animals, has no static horizons and perspective.